project, and it's what I used to present for ROP competition. And as some of you guys know or may not know, I am a Gates Millennium Scholar, and so I really attribute my success to the Engineering Academy. I had to write 8 essays, and in all of my essays I talked about my Engineering Academy and my internships and the classwork that I've done, and I talked a lot about the design process and how that's changed the way I think and how I've mastered the arts of failure, because it's beautiful to learn from your mistakes, and you learn a lot more than just someone telling you. And so for my presentation, you're gonna just see the timeline of where I started with my project and how it's going right now. And then the new vocab term, most people don't know hemiplegia. So it's a disease that children have, and it affects one side of their body, so their left leg is weaker than their right leg, or vice versa. And so when I was looking into my problem, I volunteered for a center called Ability First, and in my volunteer work I saw this young girl named Christine, and when I was walking her out to the parking lot one day, I saw that she was drifting towards oncoming traffic just because her weaker leg pushed her, her stronger leg pushes her towards the right side, so it's difficult for her to walk straight unless she has a caregiver with her. And so looking at existing walkers, I saw that as a problem, that how children constantly need to have a caregiver in order for it to be safe for them, and that these walkers, they're set up so that they're either in standing position or sitting position, and there's a walker that doesn't have both, so you have to have a caregiver to transition them from sitting to walking. And they also have all these extra harnesses that are not necessary for the most part. It's just for the parent to feel as if their child is safe. And so it's intimidating for younger children to have this, and when they're trying to make friends, other children are intimidated by it. So when I was looking at my problem, I created this map in my engineering journal, and I really wanted to focus on the emotional need for it, but also the physical need, because physically, yes, the child needs a walker, but I feel emotionally they want to feel confident, and they don't want to feel as if it's a barrier on them, and how other children don't want to interact with them as much. And so my criteria for this project is to promote practice for the child, so I want the child to be able to facilitate their physical development, and I want it to be lightweight, so it could be easy to store and transport. And I wanted the walker to have a sitting and standing design transformation, which you will see later on. And I want the wheels to compensate for the weaker legs so that the child can walk straight. And most walkers are quite expensive. They're over $200, so I wanted to aim for under $50. And so these are the technical drawings I did, and I wanted the walker to have a rectangular shape and have handles out in front, and then the seat will come down, and it's foldable so you can pull it back up, and then this is the top and side view. And so this is the CAD model that I use. So I am Autodesk Inventor certified, so industry recognizes that I have a certification and I have skills that I can enter into industry with already. And this is my initial AutoCAD design, and then it's gone through a lot of changes. And so what happens when I first did my AutoCAD file, it was a part file versus an assembly file. So it'll just print out as a statue versus separate parts, so you can't see the functionality how I did it at first. So I had to go back and edit it in order for every separate part to be accountable and have motion in it. And so this is the design transformation I wanted to do. So as the child sits, the seat will be there, but I wanted a gas spring to be able to lift the child up, because something as simple as standing up, the child doesn't have balance. So I wanted the seat to be able to help the child stand up. And then they would just stand up, and then the walker would raise up higher with the gas spring. And so these are the mock-ups that I did. So they're just, it's a Lego piece and then also a cardboard. And that's just to show how I wanted it. So I changed the design from rectangular to a triangular shape. As you guys can see, the profile is now a right triangle. And I just did that because I wanted it to be more open in the front, and I didn't want the handles to close out in front. I just wanted it to be off to the side. And it was easy. It was an easier transition for the spring if it was triangular versus the rectangular profile I had before. And so the materials that I used PVC pipe, and then I used connectors in order to connect the corners. And then the bottom one, the P-shaped one, is those are the handles that I used. And then I needed bolts in order to bolt the wheels on, and then the PVC pipe at the end, well, the cement, in order to connect all of them together. So the equipment I used, at first I used just the drill by itself in order to drill the holes in, but my wheels came out crooked once I bolted them onto the walker. So I ended up using, for my second prototype, the drill press, so it'll come out straighter. And then the saw and the lock box is to cut the PVC pipe so you get straight lines. And so this is the error in my build. The walker, the wheels are kind of crooked, but I was able to fix that in my second prototype. And the walker I actually designed it for, it was for a younger boy at Ability First, and the family wanted to be able to use it in water, so like at the beach and in the pool. So I drilled holes all throughout the walker in order for the water to leak out. And when in my first prototype, when I glued the PVC cement onto all the pipes, I realized that it was crooked. So for my second one, I drew lines on it. So once I glued it, I just line it up with the actual lines and make sure that it was straight. And then that is the second prototype that I finished. So you can see like the handles and how they're connected and the holes. And so right now, I am still currently building a third one because my gas springs just came in from online, so I ordered it on Amazon. So I'm still working on having the C actually implemented into an actual prototype. And I haven't done quite a lot of testing because I just wanted to give it to the family and just have them try it out. So for me, we're supposed to have testing results that are unbiased, and at this point, once I finished building it, I just wanted the family to be happy with it. So I didn't test it, I just sent it to them. And it became more than a project to me at this point. I just want the family to be happy with it. So I need to build my third prototype in order to actually do testing. And yeah, that's my future work. I'm still working on it. But yeah, so my future work would be the gas spring and the seat implemented. And I want to acknowledge the Engineering Academy, and then Zuniga's construction. So they helped with all the materials and the space for building, and then Ability First. And yeah, so it's really just been like a great honor to be in the Engineering Academy and have done this project within this past year. I mean, I got the gates, and it's really based off of what I've learned from engineering and how I've been able to like articulate it in a way that others can understand. And I just really talk a lot about my mistakes and what I've learned. So thank you.